were heated exchanges in the race for the state attorney's seat during the final hometown candidate forum on Monday night. The panel of 4 representatives of local media challenged the incumbent, Katherine Vogel, on some of her actions or inaction on local issues. Kay Harris, editor of the Key West Citizen, asked Ms. Vogel why she'd not yet convened a grand jury to address accusations of scamming and price gouging by the local hospital.
The Citizen first wrote about this issue back in July, actually, it was several months ago. What have you done, or what have you not done, or what are you going to do about convening a grand jury to look into some of the issues with the hospital?
Okay, we have to understand that a grand jury can only look at things involving a crime. And if and when we find something that can be criminal, we will take it to the grand jury.
But her opponent, former state attorney Dennis Ward, argued that he would take the case to a grand jury.
I disagree with the state attorney. There's plenty of cases that have gone to a grand jury that didn't involve crime. Thank you.
May I?
Yeah, yes, 30 seconds.
No, there are 2 ways that a case can go to the grand jury. It can go to the grand jury either because it's a crime or because it's a public official or a public agency. This hospital is not a public agency, so it cannot go as an investigation into a public agency. There must be a crime.
So, who's right? According to the most recent financial statement filed by the Lower Florida Keys Hospital District, the hospital district was created August 4th, 1967, and became a political subdivision in Monroe County, Florida, by the legislature of the state of Florida for the purpose of establishing and maintaining a hospital for the people of the district. The board members are appointed directly by the governor of Florida. Their duty is to oversee the rates and charges of the hospital. Could that mean that at least the governmental end of the hospital could be investigated by a grand jury even in the absence of a state crime? But some patients claim to have been victims of a deliberate and appalling scam. The Key West Citizen reported extensively on the issue of exorbitant private helicopter charges secured through misrepresentation of the availability of the free county-run helicopter service. Monroe County Sheriff confirmed instances when the county's free Trauma Star helicopter was in fact available when the hospital staff claimed it was not. Patients were charged over $50,000 to be flown to Miami in a private LifeNet helicopter stationed at the hospital. A grand jury investigation could clarify whether kickbacks to the hospital were in fact the motive. Questions about the state attorney's investigation into the in-custody death of Charles I Murs caused a stir. The circumstances surrounding the death of the Michigan visitor remained highly controversial for months. The case received national attention when a new video was found that contradicted sworn statements made by police officers.
As in other cases involving allegations of excessive force by police, a grand jury called to look into I Murs' death chose not to indict the officers. Well, now a new video is raising questions about what that grand jury did not see.
This question. 3 months after the grand jury returned a no true bill in the Charles I Murs death in custody case, a bystander video shot by a Colombian tourist surfaced. It revealed some important truths about what really happened to Charles I Murs. The phone number for that Colombian tourist was in the case file provided to you. Did you at least try to obtain the video before presenting the case to the grand jury? And if not, why not?
We were unaware that there was another video. After looking at the video, I really did.
On Monday night, Vogel claimed the new video did not contradict the officer's testimony.
It didn't show anything other than what had previously shown and previously what the other testimony was that had been presented to the grand jury.
My question, though, if I could just...
No comments from the audience.
The police claimed I Murs died of a heart attack while trying to escape. The witnesses said he was smothered in the sand by a group of police officers.
I was on the sand.
Did you see any sand on his face?
No.
Ever?
No.
Did you ever see his face?
Yes.
Yet, the video discovered later clearly showed I Murs' face covered with sand. Katherine Vogel's grand jury, however, never saw that footage. Jurors were told that I Murs' face was not forced into the sand, and evidence only showed a light dusting of sand on his face.
My question had more to do with the investigation prior to bringing it to the grand jury, not about whether the evidence would have changed your decision or their decision, but there was a phone number in the case file. FDLE did not call the number. Apparently you didn't either. The defendant's attorney, the family's attorneys did. Why wouldn't your office make that phone call?
Well, my office did a thorough investigation. They called all the numbers that they possibly could find, and they did not find the video.
But the CBS interview of I Murs' family's lawyer showed a different view of the state attorney's investigation.
Complete. How hard was it for you to get in touch with the person?
One phone call.
That's it?
That's it.
What does that tell you?
It tells me that they didn't try too hard to contact that person.
For all of you, is using law enforcement to repeatedly arrest, prosecute, and incarcerate homeless people worth the money and time, and is it effective at addressing that issue?
Why don't you start this one, Chad? That sounds up your alley.
Well, thank you. I'll be happy to. No, I think this really reflects a misuse of our law enforcement resources. It's much cheaper to provide treatment to someone who's mentally ill, around the order of $6,000 a year for outpatient weekly treatment, in contrast to about $30,000 a year for incarceration. So it turns out to be about 500% cheaper to provide care to somebody than it does to punish them.
Being a veteran of the Vietnam War and looking at the amount of veterans on our streets that suffer from PTSD, I think probably a good first step would be maybe a veterans court here in Monroe County. And another step would have to be some type of mental illness evaluations. Or help for these people who suffer from mental illness.
I agree with both of my opponents. I do believe that incarceration is really fruitless. We should have a mental health court. I think it's unfair to expect people to abide by the law when they don't have a place to sleep at night. But certainly to make provisions for those individuals who are homeless so that they have some place to be, so that they can begin to get a semblance of normal life. And without that, I tell you, I think that you're just going to have a revolving door of being arrested and psychiatric and substance abuse issues.
Time, Katherine. Thank you, Katherine. Katherine, why don't you start?
In 2014, you were asked whether a KWPD strip search, allegedly a cavity search, filmed in the streets of Bahama Village was legal. You found no wrongdoing. What do you say to those in the village who claim that you would have reached a different conclusion if the naked rear on the public street had been a white butt instead of a black butt?
You know, I never said that there was nothing wrong with that, all right? And to be honest with you, whether or not, are you asking me whether we found something was
Public strip
criminal,
searches are illegal
or
under
whether there was-
Florida Statute 901.211. Two videos showed the same officer conducting repeated strip searches on the public streets. The state attorney found insufficient evidence to prosecute.
In the middle of the fucking street in front of everybody. But I didn't know y'all could go in their behinds though and look in their assholes. I didn't know that. He did it.
Let my ass dirty, bro. God damn, bro.
Now, are you asking me if we prosecuted the police officers for doing that? No. But that doesn't make it okay, and I never said it was okay, and I don't, well, I think told them it was okay. I would have instructed them that it wasn't okay. I also have a chief assistant who speaks to them, and
Katherine, I mean, let's kill the question. Larry.
In fact, the record shows the state attorney did not inform KWPD that the practice was illegal, and even more intolerable where the humiliating technique was apparently only used on blacks.
I am the state attorney who has 30 years experience in the prosecution office. I am the only state attorney here who has prosecuted a felony case. We've done an excellent job. We've improved our relationship with law enforcement and so that we can cooperate with them. I'm asking for your vote in November. Elect me, Katherine Vogel, re-elect me as your state attorney.
Thank you, Katherine. Dennis, 90 seconds.
As most of you know, I was the state attorney from 2009 to 2013.
I'm curious. You lost the election the last time to Katherine. Some might say that your zealousness in prosecuting folks may have led to that defeat. How do you address people who might claim that you go overboard in prosecuting certain elements?
Well, I don't think we lost any of those cases, did we? We prosecuted people for stealing taxpayers' dollars. Over $1 million in taxpayers' dollars just in the school district alone. Mosquito Control Operations Director, $5,000. Bahama Village, I mean, and I can go on and on and on. We didn't lose any of them. A lot of them did jail time. A lot of them got probation. A lot of them lost their jobs. The head of the FDLE down here, homestead fraud. 2 or 3 people on mosquito control. We changed a lot of things here. We changed the way that the whole school district is run to doing that. I'm committed to fighting public corruption. I'm committed to taking the big cases, just like this hospital case. You know, I don't shy away from these cases. However, the ones that concern me the most are, and should concern you, are the lack of leadership, the lack of supervision, the lack of training, and downright laziness. These factors have resulted in the ruination of some very important cases that I look at in situations that I'm concerned with, and it's a direct result of the ineffective leadership in the state of Texas.
I'm going to ask you to respond.
What do you mean
These are
you're
the
going to
closing statements. Shed.
All right, well, thank you all for coming out and listening to us. This is my first time running for office. I'm just trying to hang in there. Ultimately, I'm asking for your vote. Like most Floridians, I think the time has come for criminal justice reform, reverse trends towards mass incarceration, to reduce juvenile contact with the criminal justice system, and to reform civil forfeiture practice.